Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So we're at Talladega. Talked about doing this, trying to get one more flight in with PSXT with real traffic. So the challenge I found with any of these is it tends to just put static traffic in either way. We're all set, ready to go. Landing lights are on, everything is on. So let's head on out here. The goal is obviously to take off appropriately. That would be a good start. So it's a 6,000 foot runway. I knew it would be a little tight, but we're good. We had to get to 120. So positive rate of climb. That's always the first step. Get the gear up. And then we're going to get our throttle down here. We should be okay. Try to turn on autopilot. And we should be on our way. So, always the challenge in the Airbus that it wants to always do something else. So, I don't think I've got... there we go. We had it set quite right, but now it's not blinking anymore. So, it should be an auto throttle. So, unlike the 737, the Airbus, a little bit different in getting things engaged. It's not just flipping a switch and pressing a button. There's a few other things there. But we're going to be cruising at 37,000 feet. We've got 650 nautical miles. We are on our way to Dover, Delaware. And so this race in 2022 would have taken place on May 1st. This is the same location we'd be going to this year in 2024. So we are, following along that way. That's the same thing. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay under the appropriate speed here. This is a really long turn to get itself back to where it needs. I hope it's going the right way. I guess we'll find out in a moment. Because, the line is there, but yeah, it's leveling out, heading at an intercept, so that's okay. It's got 81 nautical miles to the first waypoint. So nothing really strange that we're expecting there. Alright, so it's coming back in line here, finally. Just getting everything set. So right now, our real traffic injection is just doing it at 9 nautical miles. It has one other plane that I think is near us here at this point. So now it's looking out 40 nautical miles. It still is only saying that there's one plane. That seems really strange. Alright, we've got ourselves changed to standard. Just making sure we've got our flaps in. Everything is in. Alright, so now all the other planes are starting to generate. So there's quite a few off to the east of us because Atlanta is in that direction. So there's really a ton that are kind of populating up from there. But not sure that we'll see anything yet. It's always so loud when we're here. But when I fly the larger planes, I do tend to use real weather. so that, yeah, I'm not seeing anything totally nearby, and that would kind of make sense. It's showing me 67 aircraft now, but most of them are near Atlanta. The map is just looks like an ant farm or something. Oh, let me change this. Oops. So then it'll allow it to be speed managed on its own. That will certainly help with our results here, because at this point you can see the purple arrow on the PFD. You know, we're really targeting about 300 as the airspeed, and that ultimately will move us along at a pretty nice clip. So there's really no wonderful departure here. We're just kind of doing a direct route for 83 nautical miles to the waypoint. Once again, I mean, Talladega is a pretty small airport. You know, it'd be pretty unlikely we'd be flying an A320 out of there, but for the sake of sanity on this flight, I'm going ahead and doing that. We'll just see what happens. And this was really more of honestly, a test of the last day I have on my license for real traffic than anything else. So normally I might spread these out a little bit more. But decided to get this one done. So this is leg 11 of the Walker Air Transport Virtual Airlines Tour for NASCAR 2022. So the information I gave you at the beginning kind of is lined up with that. You know, we're flying this in 2024, and I'm trying to keep up with real time the schedule. So basically this Saturday is when these are showing up, because the races tend to be on a Sunday. But if that switches and there's something on a different day of the week that happened in 2022 or something, you know, I may move the date that this shows up. But even when we had a night race on Saturday, I still went ahead and posted the video on Saturday saying, hey, we just flew in the morning, and everything was good that way. But you know, it's just a lot simpler, because otherwise I'd have to use a citation, and that would likely take probably at least 2 or 3 hours to fly the 650. It's substantially slower. You know, it's not going to have an airspeed of 475. It just isn't. And, you know, that's going to increase a bit because we've still got almost 7,000 feet to go, and that will raise us up, because the air's a little thinner the higher you go. So you can see we're up to 481 now. It wouldn't surprise me that we'd be over 500 on the ground speed, and then that helps drive things to completion a lot faster. But back here, what we had just enjoyed was a crazy race. Wasn't quite as interesting or insane as Bristol was the week before on the dirt track, but we did have kind of a late race pass by Ross Chastain, who ended up taking the win. Same type of thing, going from third to the victory. So, but he just kind of drove cleanly. And then Austin Dillon came in second, and Kyle Busch, who was the winner at Bristol Dirt, had come in third. And then wrapping up, we had Kyle Larson in fourth. Martin Truex was in fifth. That rounds out the top 5 there. But the super speedways, always a lot of fun. Always a lot of speed. But at this point, I've got about an hour of travel here that has to take place. So I'll get back and, wrap this up relatively quickly once we're done. And we'll probably, again, include part of the landing. It's kind of the simplest way to show the progress on these, but it's just getting through all 35 legs is going to be the goal. So that is what we're trying to do, as we do with any tour. But I'm going to just let the plane go do its thing, and I will be back in a bit. Alright, so we are headed in here. Pretty cloudy day here in Dover. So it's been a bit, honestly. So I've got myself set pretty slowly, I think. Just going 133 is my target speed. So I'm hoping that will be good. Alright, and then at this point, we're gonna try to get ourselves down a little bit. Let's see.
100 above.
Yeah, we're
100 above.
gotta be careful because we're
above. 100 above.
It's such a short
Minimum.
a short little runway. 100.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Ooh. I think I made it, but ooh. It's just that last little bit, it just always seems so challenging. Hello. So there's always like a bit too much. So yeah, again, I'm hoping I made it, because I really would prefer not to. I mean, it says 543 on the landing monitor, and I found I can probably go a little bit. There we go. That'll move me a bit. I found the actual landing then ends up being smoother than that or less than that. So I'll take a peek once I get a little bit straightened out. So again, I am running real traffic. It's interesting the way those planes are set there. I want to be careful that I don't go too fast. Guess I'll back off a little bit here. Because, yeah, technically you're not supposed to go. And honestly, I don't know that there's a terminal. I see that tower, but beyond that, then, I'm not sure. So I think I'm going to just head over this way. But it's got 5 static aircraft. It's telling me there are 3 lives. But my guess is that's because they're overhead. Alright, I got the reverse thrusters on again. Obviously, I want to not do that. There we go. Alright. Yeah, it was still 527, but... Alright. But we're here in Dover. Suppose I can turn the lights off. I still got something on. I've got my nose lights off. Now I'm half curious. Oh, maybe it's the runway turn-off lights. That appeared to be it. so those were shining out. But, you know, in theory, there's 3 aircraft there. You know, and that's the challenge. Like, it's tough to land this plane on such a short runway, so there's a little bit of a panic that sets in as you're coming in, because it's like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. And so you kind of jam it into the ground because you're still moving 130. I mean, it's not short. So, but over time, I'm sure I'll get better. But we'll get this turned off, and then that should allow the flight to get registered. Obviously, I didn't start up the APU or anything, so I now have a power problem potentially, but it's all right. I'm not heading out from here right away anyway. So, but this will be the last one with live traffic. We'll then maybe revert to doing FSL2L as I go forward, and that will give us all the ability together to kind of compare. Because even here, but like I said, I think FSLTL can do this. It's just, you know, is it going to mix and match the different carriers as this did or not? But I don't know how crucially important that is. In any event, at this point, we are done. So I want to thank you once again for following along. And if you've enjoyed this and haven't dropped a like, please consider that. It helps with the algorithm in YouTube, gets more things out in front of people. And if you are not a subscriber, please consider that. And I will see you next time.